But as I said before, we did go to Argentina first, but we're just going to start by just playing you a little bit of what you expect.
Playing from laptop L023.
My name is Erwan Borozik, and I'm the captain of Scenic Eclipse. I'm in charge of the 400 souls that we have on board.
Dear guests, good evening. Here is your captain, Captain Erwan from the bridge. So I wish you a wonderful first evening on board. Wow. It's always emotional to start the journey.
We have people working 24 hours a day. We have more than 30 different nationalities.
We're going to prep the sub now, and then we launch at around 6:30.
I want to make sure that the crew work well together.
Let's go, Nakayo! Quick, quick, quick!
My mission as the captain is to get from San Diego to Antarctica on time and safely. We never know what's going to be ahead of us. Surprises and lots of challenges.
I oversee the entire expedition program. The weather and conditions dictate where and what we can do.
Oh my God!
I want to make sure that people see cruise ships in a different way. Flavors are amazing, it's bloody stunning. But I say, hey, wow, I never had any food like this on a ship.
I'm gonna head out on a recon flight.
Looks like a good landing
So
site.
the wind through at 15 knots, the sea's too rough.
We have been following the evolution of the hurricane, and it's getting bigger.
We will go for one big. I'm not entering here.
What you're going to see underwater, nobody has ever seen it here. Nobody ever.
Oh, we're going to fish over here.
We say that discovery is a state of mind for us. Genuine, true emotions.
We did it again.
It's our time to shine, to create wonder.
Welcome to the channel.
To go beyond the horizon.
I told you I need help, Steph. So we started our journey by flying into Buenos Aires and then coming down to Ushuaia. So Ushuaia is the southernmost part of the world, really. So it's the very tip of South America, and it's known as the end of the world. And it has got this really eerie sort of feeling. It was really windy when we were there. The atmosphere is quite sort of eerie, I think. It looks like the end of the world should look. But it has got a vibrant city. We didn't stay overnight, but you can stay overnight. It's in Patagonia, so if you wanted to explore that area, there's plenty to do. But this was the scenic eclipse here that we picked up. It's next to the Ponant there. So Ponant are another cruise line that sailed down to Antarctica. So here we go. James is going to tell us all about the ship.
Oh God, right, okay. I think that's my cue, isn't it? It's not a ship. The difference between Scenic Eclipse and every other cruise line is that this is a private yacht. It's a huge private yacht in the classification of yachts because it's a couple hundred meters long, but you really are on your own little piece of heaven traveling around. And when we talk about an expedition cruise, cruise is only half of it. It really is expedition as the other half. You really do put yourself out there with the Attenboroughs and such of this world in experiencing a whole different part of life that is a privilege for some of us to be able to enjoy. Now, the ship that they've built has just been recently built. These are the latest. This isn't actually the latest because its sister ship, Tony tells me, who's been on this one, has just been completed and just gone through sea trials and has been launched. They are quite spectacular, as in they're ice rated, they're triple hulled, so nothing. The word Titanic doesn't get mentioned at all in the vicinity of this one. They've got totally different drive mechanisms that are hanging down from the bottom of the boat that can turn around and go in totally opposite directions and move this thing around as they see fit. It's also got the mechanisms and the GPS tracking so that it protects the environment by never using a physical anchor. It's there and it's placed to a satellite, and then it connects in like your GPS on your car, but locks into that particular position. So from that point of view, and the engines keep it all in its right place. It's up. You noticed before that it was 200 guests for the polar expeditions. It's 200 guests to 200 staff and crew on the boat. It is a 1-to-1 ratio. You do notice that. Not that you notice other people, but you just notice everything happens as if by magic. It just happens, and you are the centre of the universe. And then the exploration and the actual understanding that you get of the local area is a gift to be able to go back onto this, step back on board, and be handed a cup of hot cocoa or a glass of champagne, whatever is your preference, and be able to walk your way back to the bar, carve a slice off a chunk of ice that's been taken out of the sea to put it into your gin and tonic, and sit down with other people who've just experienced the same breathtaking experience as you. So the boat itself is it's just hidden under here, that bit there are the 2 helicopters. Just hidden under here is the submarine, and this is a whole different experience again when you talk about these Antarctica cruises. And these go up to, this ship goes up to the Arctic as well. So once you've done this, you will have the same curse that I have, which is somebody in the family who says, well, now we've done the South Pole, we have to take the North. So that's another thing for next year, funnily enough. But certainly as far as this yacht is concerned, the other thing I would say about it is, it's not in your old school colonial configuration. It's modern, open plan, very much spacious as a modern seagoing private yacht would be. And of course the furniture as well is very much that way inclined. So it's all spectacular quality, but you're not sat there in chintz curtains and thick shag pile carpet. This is not minimalist, but certainly simple.
Should we show some interior while we're talking?
Well, yeah, go for it.
Let's do that.
Furniture there that gives you an idea of what a modern ship is all about.
It's rated 6 stars.
Every single cabin has a veranda.
And even these are showing some of the top category suites, but even the standard lead-in suites are amazing. You wouldn't need anything extra. So it just gives you a little glimpse of the interiors, and now we've just got a few shots to chat through with you. So one of the really great things is this theatre auditorium, where they have chats.
So every day, whatever you've experienced, then the crews will take you through. Now, I wrote it down because Karen said to me, "Oh, we've got to tell everybody the different qualifications of the people that are accompanying you on these trips. This isn't a cruise ship where you get somebody who knows how to pour your glass of wine. This is a cruise ship where you get out of the 200 people, probably about 20 of them, so 10% of the people, a lot of them will be behind the scenes that you'll never see, but all the people that you're seeing on a daily basis are experts in the region in which you're visiting. So they're flora and fauna and wildlife and polar experts. There's bachelors and professors and lecturers in biodiversity, conservation. There's marine biologists, naturalists. I worried about that one for a second. Geologists, sustainability experts, archaeologists, biologists, anthropologists, and then you've got kayak and paddleboard instructors, ornithologists, historians telling you all about Drake's Passage, all about the adventures of people exploring the Shackletons of this world, all exploring the area in the first instance, which we'll talk of later. Ornithologists, glaciologists, I didn't realise there was such a thing, but to be out on a kayak with somebody who's talking to you about the reason why you don't go within 200 metres of, this is what everybody else, normal people on a normal cruise when they go to the Antarctic, you get within 200 metres of the face of the ice, and that's as close as you can get. The reason for it is that if they have a carving of ice that comes off the glacier or off the mountainside, the ice that then comes off that explodes like a bullet and can pierce through a man at 100 metres. So from that point of view, purely on safety, You hear the cracking and the banging. This is ice being shot out at the speed of a bullet. And the difference here with this ship as well, this boat as well, is with the helicopter trips that you do, that when you turn up, you put your name down for it, and then they allocate it around to make sure that everybody gets a go. And you go out on the helicopters, which is extra,
Yes.
but you can't help yourself. I mean, funny enough, it's still cheaper than chartering a helicopter out of Goodwood. So crazy as it is, but and I'm a pilot myself, so this is my particular thing. You have to forgive me. But they have EC-135s, which are $5 million for a 6-seater helicopter is a lot of money to spend on one helicopter, and they've got 2 of them on board, and they take you out with an into. Normally, if you've got a view and you're on the 7th deck and there's a bit of land that's low, you can see in 200 or 300 meters. They'll be 200 meters out, so you're looking 500-600 meters away to be able to see the frozen land and the tundra before you actually go to explore it on a kayak in a normal ship. With these, you're out in the helicopter and they're taking you out into no man's land where nobody's ever been, landing away, sitting you out in the middle of it, and it's Africa on ice. But yes, all the different nationalities and all the different expertise that is there at your fingertips. So it really is that educational. You can choose.
Yeah.
You can go to the bar instead of going to this, or you can go and watch a movie, or go and see a theatre production if you wish. But when this is available, to be able to just know what you've actually witnessed is quite profound.
This is just one of our restaurants. So there's 10 restaurants or eateries on Scenic Eclipse. This was one of the more casual ones. You could just turn up here anytime, all food and drinks included. You could just turn up anytime, just sit here. You had a front deck here, so you could go outside at any time. The captain always kept you informed if there was anything going on in the surrounding areas. We really liked it here, didn't we? We used to come in here, have a cup of coffee, have some pastries, watch the world go past, and there were lots and lots of these where you could just run away the
We went a
hours.
snorkel kill from there, didn't we? As well, there was an
They
orca,
let you know as soon as
the
anything
family
happened.
that found themselves a couple of sea lions. So that was something where they diverted the ship. So it's like a safari where you get safaris that go on the road,
Yeah.
and you get safaris that go off-road. This is most definitely Scenic Eclipse's off-road.
Really stunning bar area, lots of seating around it, great place to socialise. And I think one of the greatest things we actually, when we were out on one of the expeditions on the Zodiac, the guide got a piece of ice off of the iceberg and brought it back, and in the evening we would chomp away at this bar area with the ice that we'd just taken out of the sea, so that's quite exciting. This is the bridge, which James thought was really interesting.
You're allowed to get up close and personal with the crew. So from that point of view, it is like your own private yacht where you are in charge. And so you can go up onto the deck, you can see what's going on. They don't actually let you steer it, but you are in a position to be able to go and see and sit in the thick of it, whatever time of day or night. The ship never stops. And it is out in the middle of nowhere.
It is, yeah. This is the library area, which again was one of our favourite places to go. You can go and make your coffee, get cookies, come and sit in here, play cards, play games, and then at the front of this area, this was a full sweeping window at the front. There was a really big deck, so anytime you could just go and stand on the front of the deck. Come back indoors when it was, because it was quite chilly outside, come back and put your winter clothes on and go back out. And the captain just kept you informed of what was happening outside all the time. So if you just wanted to pop in and out, this was a really great place.
That's an interesting thing actually, because on the bow of the ship going from here, from the coffee lounge or the library as this was, with some of the old books, you get those art books that are the huge ones that you can open up and there's photographs. It's full of them. So it's fascinating to be able to see this stuff that you see in Maison Asseline up in London or something.
Yeah.
And but out on the deck as well, it's a dry cold. So the weather can change in 20 minutes. But going from the cafe here, just in my short, rolling my sleeves up on my jumper, you'd go outside and you're outside for a couple of minutes or so, just enjoying and soaking it all up. You're not suffering. You don't. It feels fine. You certainly, if you suddenly got damp and you stayed out there for a few hours, you'd understand what exposure was all about. But it's a dry cold, so you don't really feel it. You can actually just walk out and enjoy it and breathe it in. And there's no noise, there's no sound. You can, well, funnily enough, the wind across the snow you can hear, but it's no light pollution, no noise.
No,
nothing.
it is very. So, where are we next? So this was our itinerary. So, as I say, we started in Ushuaia, and then we came through the Beagle Channel, and we had to go through Drake's Passage before we hit Antarctica. Drake's Passage is a little bit of an experience. This was us going to breakfast. It isn't drunk.
Not after your red wine.
That's with stabilizers. Drake's Passage is the most treacherous water passing the water. They empty the pool before they go through, so it doesn't overflow. 15-foot swells, which makes 30-foot waves, which means on the 4th deck you're seeing water wash over your window.
So it lasts for a day or two. So when you arrive on Scenic Cliffs, you are introduced to your butler. So this is the sort of first experience you get of this bad weather, and the butler was at hand for us to help with any seasickness problems. We were actually fine and we were going to breakfast, but some people did suffer a little bit more. But coming out the other side, you wake up in the morning after you've been rocked around for a couple of days, and you just see this spectacular scenery. And the stillness, and the water is just so still, it's so calm, it's so quiet. The light is spectacular. So each day, like if you're on a safari, you have zodiac excursions. So you have an excursion in the morning and an excursion in the afternoon. There's 200 people on the boat, and they sort of split you into two groups. So one group, they'll never put more than 100 people on an island at a time, but you never really see that. You're split into a group of about 10 people, but they do say that they've never had more than 100 people at a time. So you have two groups. So one group goes on usually a land, and the other one would do a sea. So they sort of make sure that you're sort of separated. But this gives you an idea of the type of thing that you would experience if you were on. Have you got some sound on this? Yeah, it's coming. So do you want me to put a little video in to show you the type of thing that you would see on shore? But as you can see on the map, there are lots and lots of different islands you go to, and each one of them has completely different landscape.
You're kitted out because the weather can turn in 15 minutes, and it takes you longer than that to get back to the boat. And you're told that you can never go any closer than 8 metres, I think, to the local wildlife, but they forget to tell the wildlife that. So if you stand still, they come to you.
They're very inquisitive penguins. They love coming up to you and pecking you.
And also, Tony, they stink, don't they?
Yes.
You become accustomed to it very quickly.
So every day you get a chance to do that tonight. Oh God, sorry, wrong button again. Not sure how to get it off, Steph, sorry. Yeah. This is all very, very still. So let's just got a bit of a repeat here. You see how close the ship gets to where you are. It gets into the sort of really small places. they're really particular about you not taking. So when you go, they check all your kit. You can't really take muck in and out of all the different islands. So they're very careful on things like that. Right, I'm going to try really hard not to press the wrong button, guys. So this was the first day we went out. So we've travelled a lot, and I'm always really into my photography. The sort of pictures around the room sort of show you that. But I'm always really worried that when you look online, you see photos of things and you think, yeah, right, someone's obviously, got that shot. I'm never going to be able to get that shot. But within like 2 minutes of getting into this Zodiac, we had this whale just in front of us, and that's what it was like all the way through. There was never a moment when there was something doing something in front of you. They were flipping their tails right beside your Zodiac. A little bit worrying to start with because they're huge. I mean, this is a fraction of it, and it's so close that you're thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to tip us over. But you soon get used to that. They just don't worry about you at all, and you get so close. And yeah, the sights are spectacular. I mean, I've got numerous whale-tail pictures, and it was just spectacular. Really, really easy to get a shot. They're just incredible creatures, and you just get so close to them. So one of the things we wanted to share with you really was what pack and what it's like. It is cold. So I think that one of the coldest times is when you go out on your Zodiac, when you're coming back, often on the afternoon one, you're sort of getting that wind chill, and the temperature's dropping, and you're coming back in the dark. You do need to protect yourself. When you're on the Zodiac, you often get wet, so the spray does hit you. So you need to make sure that you are kitted out properly to really enjoy it. Now, Scenic Eclipse provide you with the jackets, and they're sort of thermal layered jackets. They're really great jackets, and you can hire trousers from them if you want to. Otherwise, you need a pair of waterproof trousers or ski trousers, really, something that is going to protect you. Everyone gets a life jacket as soon as they get on, and that has to be worn at all times when you're out, which is obviously sensible. But you do need to wear base layers like you wear if you were skiing, really. So you need sort of your thermal undergarment, and then a jumper, and then the scenic jackets. One of the things that was really great for me, because I want to take photos all the time, I needed to take my gloves off a lot, which is a problem because it is cold. So you can buy these little hand warmers, and you can heat these things up to 60 degrees and just keep them in your pocket. So if you do get cold fingers from clicking, you can just keep these in your pocket and warm up. And a lot of people, a lot of the Americans on board when we were there, they also had heated gloves, which you can get these days. So that's really sort of worth thinking about. You can get glove liners as well, which are like very, very thin, so you've still got use of your fingers. Necks, really important to wear sort of scarves, neck scarves, and we did wear balaclavas. Although you can't really see it in here, when we were going back on the Zodiac, we would put a balaclava over, so you were really protected. We have got some, we haven't actually showed it this time, but we have got some video of us when we're there, like saying, oh my god, it's so cold, but can't stop smiling, but I want to put my balaclava on. So it's really, really exciting. Sunscreen, obviously, sunglasses, all that type of stuff. Comfortable shoes, the boots they provide for you, so you don't need to really worry about what you put on your feet. You get your boots, they're heated, the boot room there is stunning, you get them all heated and you put them on. And as soon as you come back in after you've been out on the Zodiac ride, they're meeting you, they wait for you, and they warm you up, and they give you your hot chocolate or your hot toddy or whatever you might want, and then they warm you up. When you're on board, it's up to you really about how much you want to dress up. It wasn't overly dressy, I don't think, was it? It was quite casual, but you could wear, proper shoes if you wanted to, and you could dress for dinner if you wanted to. It was all quite relaxed. There's plenty of restaurants and things, so you could choose the type of dining experience that you wanted. And then just another little video. I think one of the great things was the light and the stillness.
The polar stations there are national treasures, so you're allowed to go into them, but you can't touch anything. And they're in a frozen environment, so they're just kept to perfection, as literally just like they're kept in a freezer. Even the magazines and the books that Shackleton and his crew used to read, it's all there still.
We found that if you actually stood still or sat down, they would come to you. They were really inquisitive. So it's raining there, so oh, he couldn't quite make it, bless him. So we got a little bit of food as well. Not quite as much as Alice. So we were lucky enough to join the chef's table on one occasion. Do you want to say about the chef's table?
But you can do. All the different restaurants are different nationalities, so if you just want to be healthy, just go to the Japanese. But everything else you can just go, you can traverse the world just by just going around the decks. It's not like a cruise ship where you have to queue up or that you have to wait for anything. Because it's 24/7 service, everything's always available on tap. And it just seems to be a natural, and there's all different nationalities. They segment the allocations on the ship that they have throughout the world. So you'll have a certain amount of Australians, a certain amount of Americans, a certain amount of all the different nationalities, and a certain amount of Brits that will be there. So it's a multicultural quite an eclectic mix of all the different nationalities on board. The food, therefore, likewise, is very much a mix. The chef's table, you just register. We registered our interest before we went, because there's only a seating for 12, and so there's only, out of the 200 people, there'll only be 100 or so that will actually get to be able to sit on the chef's table. So you register your interest beforehand, and then it's a bit of a lottery whether you're successful or not. But it was worth it from our point of view. And it was an 8-course supper, and I have no idea what I ate.
No. And this is what we're given the second one on the bottom. This was our sort of knives and forks, wasn't it? It was bizarre, the whole thing, but we were blowtorching the steak and setting fire to different things, and yeah, it was an experience.
So the only time I've come across 3-star Michelin, so from that point of view, it was a new experience for me, that it is part of the journey rather than just a meal.
Oh, so this is the polar plunge, and James and I didn't do it because we thought we might have a heart attack. Tony did do it.
He's got his t-shirt on.
Can I just press that?
You've got to be nuts to do this. Absolutely nuts, because the salt water goes beyond freezing without freezing.
It's really popular. I think like only 50% of people do it.
Look how happy he is before he jumps.
I was drunk.
Oh, very brave.
What was the temperature you jumped into?
It was -1.8.
Oh, wow. And how did it feel? Did you get that real
It's like being bombarded by thousands and thousands of pins and needles. It's just nice. But it's very, very dark and very salty. It feels like you're going down forever. Obviously I wasn't, but it feels like it. You think, when am I going to stop sinking?
Thank God I've got that
And it
rope
is, oh, there's the titty, yeah. And it was, yeah, but I've spoken to the hotel director the night before, Manfred, at the bar, and we were drinking, and we sort of talked to each other. When he said he'd do it, he said he'd do it naked with me. I said, well, I'm not going to do it naked. But he couldn't do it, obviously, because being crew. But by that time, I talked myself into it. The little group of friends that we'd met, who we're still friends with today, I'd said I was doing it, and that was it. So it was 30 seconds of sheer hell for a lifetime of brain. It was worth the extra.
I think it was very brave.
It was cold.
Yes, it looked like it was cold when it came out.
And they literally just do tie a rope to you to make sure that you get that.
Just a belt rope.
The stuff you figure out that you never imagined. This was a particular thing here. There was an explorer ship, and they were Russians. There were 19 Russian scientists on that boat. Oh, wow. 19. They'd been there for 3 months already, and the tradition, the maritime tradition, is that when you come across another vessel, if you've got fruit or baked goods, you share. And of course, we had fruit and we had a bakery. So these guys, for 3 months, hadn't seen a croissant, or a pain au chocolat, or a loaf of bread. So we were invited. The captain called out and said, we're going to go and take some provisions as a gift from the ship over to the Russian explorers. Anyone that would like to come, first come, first served, we'll see you at the Zodiac. So we went down, and there was the head chef and one of the crew, and then the rest of us all there had the privilege of going across and meeting these guys, and they were you can't believe how I've never in my life ever otherwise witnessed a happy Russian.
This was the only other boat we saw in the whole of the trip, wasn't it? We didn't come across one other cruise liner, boat, anything. This was the only one.
Thank God you've had to share your crossing.
I know!
Shackleton's, the local bar. But no, but it does give you an idea of how they lived, and to realise, and when you suddenly think about how comfortable we were in our clothes, and then you just think, oh, well, hang on a second, they just had a few extra jumpers. It was a very, very brutal experience, and you can see, you can appreciate the brutal atmosphere and surroundings around there. And this is where they conducted all their first scientific testing.
So this was our helicopter experience, which I'm sure James will want to tell you all about the helicopter. But it's one of the paid for experiences. We have the helicopter experience and we have the submarine experience. Because James is obsessed with helicopters, we had to do it twice. And the submarine wasn't in action on our cruise line. So when we went, it had a issue, they hadn't got the parts in, so it's not always guaranteed. So we didn't do the submarine, but Tony did do the submarine. If you're happy to share your submarine, we haven't got any footage on it, but
no, I mean, I've had I've got lots of photographs that I took on the way down, but we, again, they had trouble with the submarine for the first few days. They couldn't get it past its auto start sequence.
Yeah.
So they had lots of trouble. But when they eventually did, they said they would do the submarine jump, so we did the dive, so we did that. The submarine sits 7 people, including the pilot, but they've got it rigged so that it doesn't matter where you sit. You've got 2 outside pods, and when you climb down through a central entrance, and you walk to the side of the pods, and you're looking in. But as soon as you start going off, they swivel the seats out. But whatever the captain's looking, or whatever the pilot's looking at, I think the way they've sorted out the actual lenses on the submarines, you're all looking at the same spot. So you're looking down here, and you're seeing the same thing he's looking at because of the refraction of the lenses in that. But it's quite fascinating. We went down about 83 meters next to the peninsula, and it's amazing how much life there is down. It's only tiny, but it's there, and lots of it. And we were down for about 45 minutes, something like that. And then coming up, when we came up, it was getting dark, and the weather was turning. And I think that's the day we had snow, and it's quite like this. Yeah, it was
an experience.
A fantastic experience. Yeah.
But the helicopter was a great experience too.
2 helicopters and 1 submarine.
And kayaks.
He was so upset he couldn't fly it. It's fascinating to see it from above though. It's just so vast.
We flew up over the mountains as well, so we didn't just look over there. Never seen a human footprint. No waste from the ship at all. Totally self-sufficient. Totally encapsulating what any kind of waste that's produced. So precious of it.
Really hard to see the scale of it, really. I think one of the other things is because I take photos, I'm not really a video taker. We didn't really plan to show people videos, so our video footage isn't particularly amazing. But our photos are, if you want to have a look at my photos. what we've done now is we've just put together a few pictures of the type of things that we saw, so we can let this run. And these are macaroon penguins, and these are chin straps down here. And there's
Macaroon penguins.
yeah, I'm sure that's what they run. These are the elephant seals. So you can sort of just see a few of their.
All of them, there were 13 different stop-off points, and every single one of them was totally different.
Yeah, yeah. We never experienced the same thing twice, did we? And this was like volcanic here, which was just incredible. That was really windy that day, wasn't it? Which again gave a whole different experience.
I think on the moon.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh, not sure about that one. Yes.
Could you remind us what time of year?
Yes. So we went late February.
Right.
So we were coming sort of towards the end of the season, late February. So it's sort of from November, December, January, February. That's sort of the season. So the some of the penguins were getting ready to leave, and there weren't as many penguins because we were at the end of the year. Of the season as what they were at the beginning. What time did you go, Tony? Were you February as well?
We went end of February, and
Yeah.
the penguins were still molting.
Yes.
So we didn't see many penguins in the water. They were all landbound.
Yes, I was
They
molting
stand there for a
too.
month while they do their
Yeah.
catastrophic ones.
Yeah. But I'm not quite sure where we.
I don't know why
here.
they're not.
Is that you or me?
No, it's the images aren't loading.
It's only a couple's definite. It all
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So just, but yeah, great time. But they don't go for more than those months. So Scenic have actually got their cruises out for 25, 26 now as well. They do tend to do really good offers now and again. They've got offers on for advanced bookings in for 24 and 25 where they're offering 20% off and free flights. So if you catch it, if you're interested and you catch it at the right time, you can get some significant savings on their normal cruise prices. Scenic are right at the top. They're one of the real high-end cruise companies. There are lots of other companies that do Antarctica too. So there is, I was going to say there is something for all budgets, but obviously it's an expensive trip to do. But there are different levels you can do it. You don't have to do it at this level. You can do it on other ships, which we can help you with.
How long was it?
We did ours for 13 days? Ours was 13 days, and we teamed it with Argentina first, so we extended it. And we did Argentina on the way back just for an overnight as well. If you do want to sort of do your own thing and tailor it a little bit, you just, with any cruise, you just need to make sure you get there a little bit earlier than the boats departing, because they don't wait for you. If you had a flight delay, you're in trouble.
So is it like 2 days to get there and 2 days to get back? Like
No, so
to flying in?
no,
or
no,
the
no.
boat's passage?
From where you sort of depart.
Ushuaia to Ushuaia.
From Ushuaia.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a day and a half.
Day and a half each way.
Yeah.
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 So 14 days minus 3.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And there are different length cruises you can do. On Scenic we did the Antarctica in depth, but there are different cruises you can do, and you could add on different places. So there's quite a variety, and you could do a longer cruise if you wanted to. I think it was quite a good length of time for us. We saw everything we needed to see. It felt a nice time away. It was good.
The first couple of days, I think we settled in without feeling as though we were missing anything or sacrificing anything. And the last couple of days, we were decompressing on the way back and sitting in and watching and witnessing everything that had gone on, and then, of course, wandering around the ship telling everybody else. So it was.
This was the chunk of ice that we put in our drinks. But you do meet, you meet people, and you, Tony and Fran met people that they're still in touch with now. James and I aren't that sociable, so we didn't. But you've got that opportunity to make it into something, to experience with other people if you wanted to. It's just a really stunning thing to do. It was something that we've never experienced anything like it before. You just feel really privileged to be in that part of the world. It's something really, really special, and it's so quiet and it's so peaceful, and you just know that not many people have been there, and it's so fragile as well. And look how close we are. I mean, it's just incredible to see
we found it was
these
the size
pictures.
of the place.
Yeah.
the sheer scale. I mean, I remember we were on one of the Zodiacs one day, and I was asking the guide, how high is that hill over there? And he said, oh, it's about 2,000–3,000 meters. And you've got no scale to how they
No,
are.
you
It's
haven't.
just amazing.
And the icebergs are so deep as well. There's more under the sea than what you can see on the top. So it's just the colours. I mean, you probably saw some of the icebergs just then, but they're this piercing blue. They are absolutely stunning. And when they're bobbing up and down out of the water when you're going past them, the swell is just enormous. You can't really see how big they were, but they are just going up and down, and the underneath is just vibrant. I mean, absolutely stunning. We did see carving, didn't we? So we did have rock face fall, and you can sort of see all of it creating these floating icebergs. This was the front of the ship again, where you could stand out, see as much as you wanted to in the seas. So yeah, so that was our little experience.
Did you have a picture of the cabin?
The cabin.
Yeah.
Very early on, we can share that with you
Yes,
later.
I've got some video of the cabin. I was doing an analysis. I was going, oh my God, the mirror's a telly. I think I was saying, James, there's no TV. There's no crew. Oh, it's okay, the mirror's a TV. But yeah, we can share that. So we actually just went for a lead-in cabin. We didn't feel it necessary to upgrade the cabin. We were going for the experience. It was perfectly fine. So you had decent bathroom, big double bed with this TV mirror, plenty of stuff, workstation, dressing table type thing, plenty of hanging stuff, and a balcony with a seating area and a table. Did you go for a leading cabin as well?
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
And the minibar stocked with the drinks of your choice. The first thing that our butler asked us was, what would you like in your minibar? So I told them, well, this, and this, and within an hour,
it was there.
there.
Yeah, so they're really attentive. Anything that you want, really, you can get.
What was amazing was that they were told that all of the crew knew your name within the first couple of days, and they would. I mean, we were wearing masks because it was COVID time, but they knew us.
But we had one of our group. He had his 50th anniversary, his 50th birthday, rather, just as we were leaving. So when we met up and became friends, two of us got together and we happened to throw a surprise 50th birthday party. So we got the butler involved, we got the chefs involved, and we had a dinner table for 10 given to us. It was the captain's table. He gave his table to us, Erwin, for the night. The chef cooked us, a 3-course meal just for the 10 of us. They baked him a cake. Our butler organised it all. We had a burger because he was a senior executive with McDonald's. We got a McPolar burger. Which was basically, we bought him a present of a paperweight, but we got some buns, and we said it's a penguin burger with guano relish and stuff like that. But we had this all out, and we had paper fries, which we got the paper straws, and we just cut them up and put them around there. I've got photographs of it, and we had this delivered to him at the table before anybody else on a cloche. And they came up and they presented to him on a cloche, and it was Waz's Mac Polar. That's how big they are.
Yeah, absolutely. They would do anything. So
they basically said, "This is your ship. Do what you want."
Yeah. So really special. Does anyone else have any questions about Argentina or Antarctica?
Just going to ask about Iguazu. Did you need any anti-malarials there?
No, actually, no, we didn't. Actually, that was one of the questions that popped up before. In terms of vaccinations and jabs and stuff, we didn't need to have any as a requirement to enter. We didn't need it. So yeah.
And I don't remember there being any issues with mosquitoes at all.
No, I mean everybody did really cover themselves up because you could kind of hear them, and it was so humid that actually mosquitoes were there or not. But no, we didn't need any visas either. So going as well, we didn't need any of that either.
The trick with it, and it's been mentioned twice before, so this is the last time, third time, which is the Melia Hotel. The trick is to be at the Melia or to be at the Awasi. The Melia is the one that's the only property that's actually inside the park, right next to the Iguazu Falls. Everybody else is a 45-minute tram ride away at the gates. That's 45 minutes, and that opens at 9 o'clock. So nobody else gets to it until 9:45, and you're in from 8 o'clock, and you literally walk out past the pool straight into the middle of it, and it's yours. So it is quite special to be right in the heart of it. You never miss it. Then you really do feel as though you're got a privileged access to it, and everybody else is still travelling to get to wherever you are, and you're living in it.
I mean, it was quite. I mean, I was really thrown back because before we went, I'd done some research on photography of the Iguazu Falls, and everywhere you look on the internet, it's saying, don't be upset if you don't get a shot. You know, it's you're 3 or 4 deep. Everyone's walking on wooden platforms. You can't hold a camera still. You know, don't even bother taking a tripod. It does not happen. Just go and enjoy the experience. And it's like, okay. And then we didn't really appreciate. We went through the gate at, well, there isn't a gate, but we went through the sort of parkway at the Emilia into the Iguazu Fall Park, and there was like nobody there, and it was like, oh my God, and I was so excited because we literally were the only people there. There are a few workmen now and again, like sweeping, and we just had the place to ourselves, and we could just take these amazing pictures. Just incredible. So
You're very welcome. Take care.
that's like the biggest thing about our trip to Iguazu was being in this amazing place, totally isolated on your own, and the sound of the falls is just
thunderous.
Yeah.
And do they still have that rickety plank walk out that you can still go on?
Yeah. And you've been then, so did you get in early?
Yes, we stayed in that hotel.
Yeah. I mean, it's just such a thing to do,
incredible.
isn't it? If you were with the other people coming in, I mean, it got so busy so quickly.
And if you can manage a caipirinha as well, you're well sorted.
Yeah, good experience.
Yeah, very good experience.
And the rooftop bar at the Emilia as well. In the evening, cocktails, sunset, falls in the background. Can't get much better.
Yeah, very special.
So
thank you for coming. We've still got wine and nibbles out the front, so please do hang. You don't need to rush off. If you'd like another glass of wine and finish some of the nibbles. We put a couple of brochures in bags if you'd like to take them, but don't feel that you have to. But we put the scenic eclipse and the company that Alice went to Argentina in the bags. But any questions, we're here. You can come chat to us or call in and see us. We'd love to see you in the shop as well. And just thank you all for taking the time to come and listen to us.
Thank you.